My name is Maxim, I am 28 years old, and this is my story about how my life turned upside down. I was married to Anna for 2 years. Our love story began like a fairy tale. We met at a mutual friend's party, immediately liked each other, and after 6 months, I proposed to her. Anna is a young, beautiful, emotional girl, always full of life and energy. I, on the other hand, am more calm, focused on work. I work in an IT company, and my career requires frequent business trips. I always tried to be a good husband, but I admit, due to work, I couldn't always give Anna as much attention as she deserved. My best friend Sergey has been with me since childhood. We went through a lot together, and I trusted him like a brother. When I went on business trips, I asked him to look after Anna so she wouldn't feel lonely. He would visit her, help her around the house, bring groceries. I was at ease knowing she had support. Everything changed one evening. I returned from a business trip a day early to surprise Anna. I entered the apartment quietly, with a smile on my face, anticipating her joke. But when I walked into the kitchen, I saw Sergey and Anna at the table. They were drinking coffee, but something in their looks alarmed me. Anna looked tense, and Sergey looked guilty. I felt my heart sink. "Hi, guys," I said, trying to speak calmly. "What's going on here?" Anna jumped up from her chair, her eyes darting. "Maxim, you're back. We were just having coffee." Sergey also stood up, avoiding my gaze. "Yeah, Max, I came to check on Anna, as you asked. But their behavior was too strange. I'm not a fool." I noticed how they exchanged glances, as if hiding something. Anger boiled inside me, but I tried to keep my composure. "Anna, can I talk to you for a minute?" I led her to the bedroom. Closing the door, I turned to her. "Tell me the truth. What's going on between you and Sergey?" Anna paled, her lips trembled. "Maxim, it was a mistake. I didn't mean to." "Didn't mean to what? What happened?" My voice hardened. We slept together," she whispered, lowering her eyes. "How many times?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "Only once, last night. Maxim, forgive me, I don't know how it happened. I was lonely. You're always on business trips, and Sergey was there." She started crying. "And you decided that was a reason to cheat on me with my best friend." I couldn't believe my ears. "I didn't think it would happen. I love you, Maxim, truly." It was a moment of weakness. I turned away, feeling anger and pain battling inside me. I loved Anna, but this betrayal was too much. And Sergey. How could he? He was like a brother to me. "I can't talk right now," I said, heading for the door. "Maxim, wait, let's talk," Anna pleaded. But I couldn't. I left the bedroom and headed for the exit. Sergey was standing in the hallway, his face pale. "Max, I'm sorry. Don't say anything," I cut him off. "You were my best friend, and you betrayed me." I left the apartment, slamming the door. It was cold outside, but I didn't feel the cold. A storm of emotions raged inside me. I got into the car and drove aimlessly. After an hour, I stopped at the park where Anna and I used to walk, and sat on a bench. I closed my eyes, trying to calm down. I thought about what to do next. Divorce. Forgive them. But how could I forgive such betrayal? I felt foolish for not noticing the signs earlier. Maybe I was too busy with work, not giving Anna enough attention, but that doesn't justify cheating. I called a friend from university whom I hadn't spoken to in a while. He listened to me and offered to come over. We sat in the kitchen, drank tea, and I told him everything. He said, "Maxim, you need time to think it over. But remember, trust is the foundation of marriage. If you can't trust her, is it worth continuing?" He was right. I didn't know if I could trust Anna again. The next day, I returned home. Anna was sitting on the couch, her eyes red from crying. She jumped up when I entered. "Maxim, please, let's talk." I sat down opposite her. "All right, talk. I know I made a terrible mistake. I love you and am willing to do anything to fix this. We can go to a therapist. I'm ready for anything." I looked at her, and it hurt. I loved her, but the betrayal stood between us. "Anna, I don't know if I can forgive you." And Sergey, you both betrayed me. I feel broken. Give me a chance, please. I need time, I said finally. That evening, I slept in the living room. A few days later, I went to my parents for a week to think. There, I reflected a lot. I remembered happy moments with Anna, but every time, the image of her betrayal came to mind. At the end of the week, I decided that I couldn't live with someone I didn't trust. I returned home and told Anna that I was filing for divorce. She cried, begged me to reconsider, but I was firm. I packed my things and left. I no longer communicated with Sergey. He tried to contact me, but I didn't respond. Now I live alone, renting an apartment. The wound is still fresh, but I hope that time will help me move on. My name's James, and I was married to Emily for 5 years. Our life was steady, predictable, maybe too predictable. The passion had faded, but I figured that's just what happens to couples over time. I trusted her. She was smart, ambitious, always reaching for something more. And me, I was just reliable, maybe too plain for her. That night, she came home late. I was used to her staying at the office, projects, deadlines, the usual. But this time, something was off. She wouldn't meet my eyes when she walked in. Normally, she'd tell me about her date, her coworkers, how tired she was. But now, silence. She answered my questions half-heartedly, fidgeting with her hair. I asked, "Emily, what's wrong?" She brushed it off, said she was just exhausted, but I knew her too well. I kept looking at her, and this heavy feeling started growing inside me. Finally, she couldn't take it anymore. She sat down on the couch, covered her face with her hands, and said, "James, I have to tell you something." And then it all came out. About Nick, her coworker. About how they'd stayed late at the office. About the coffee, the conversation, how he took her hand, how they kissed, and what happened after. Every word hit me like a hammer. I stood there, listening, and everything inside me went cold. I didn't yell. I didn't call her names. I just stayed quiet. What could I say? She looked at me with that guilty expression, but I didn't feel anything anymore, just emptiness. I walked to the bedroom, grabbed a bag, threw in a few things. She asked, "Where are you going?" I didn't answer. I just left and shut the door behind me. That night, she came home late. I was used to her staying at the office, projects, deadlines, the usual. But this time, something was off. She wouldn't meet my eyes when she walked in. Normally, she'd tell me about her date, her coworkers, how tired she was. But now, silence. She answered my questions half-heartedly, fidgeting with her hair. I asked, "Emily, what's wrong?" She brushed it off, said she was just exhausted, but I knew her too well. The next day, I checked into a cheap motel. Sat there, staring at the wall, trying to figure out how my life fell apart. I loved her. Maybe I didn't say it as often as I should have. Maybe I didn't show it enough, but I thought we had a future. And now I was alone.